Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's my Patreon Appreciation Live show, and this is for all my Patreon members for the month of February. Now, I just started a new Patreon gold guessing contest Monday, or yesterday, so make sure you go guess on that if you're a Patreon member. But for all of last month, all my Patreon members for February, we're going to do the gold guessing on that, give away some prizes, see who won what. Let me get the Paydirt over here so I can show pictures of Paydirt. There we go. All right, let me catch up on chat, see who's here. And I will warn everyone, today is probably going to be a really short stream. I have been sick for probably 2 weeks now, and it's just hard getting anything done. And, you know, my nose is Niagara Falls right now, and I'm trying not to blow my nose on camera. So I might have to walk away every few minutes or something and turn off the microphone. Joey Brown, how's it going? Richard McCarthy, how's it going? Richard Dow, glad you made it through surgery okay, and hopefully you're doing well, and we'll see you next time. Weez and Geezer, thank you for being here and being a mod. Yeah, I know you forgot to guess, brother. Deep North, how's it going? Outfitter, thank you for sending me that link, by the way, Outfitter. I just still didn't see his Hard Rock, but he had some big nuggets on there that I can't afford. Jeffrey Button, how's it going? Stephen LeBlanc. Mark Sheldon, thank you for being here and being a mod as well. John Toms, how's it going? Yeah, everyone wants my gold. That's why they all joined my Patreon to take all my gold. Michael, how's it going? MCD Prospecting. Bill's Nodgrass Adventures, how's it going? Thank you for joining the channel. Or their live show, I should say. Dina, how are you? John Myers, how are you? Who else we got? Brian, how's it going? Thank you for being a mod. I am Zaxxon. Thank you for being here. Whiskey Lover, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here. Casey String, thank you for being here as well. Appreciate everyone that's here. Kristen Reed, the other half of MCD Prospecting, how are you? Those left behind, how's it going, Dave? John Gear, Shane Prothero, Dorothy Richardson, Rum Barbecue, Rafotris, what's up, brother? Out riding horses. All right, enjoy the horses, brother. Curtis, how's it going? You know, I think that is everyone. Jason G, what's up, brother? Oh, that's awesome. That's so good to hear. That is so good to hear. Yeah, I'm sure he's so glad to get those out. Brewers Prospecting, how's it going? All right, let me pop out chat. There we go. Yeah, so today's going to be a shorter show. We're just going to give some stuff away, see who was very close at guessing on the last contest and who really, really was not good at guessing. We had some good ones on there. I don't think everyone was as close. This month, everyone was kind of a little bit off than this one. We only had a couple people that were really in the running. But it's always good still. Nice contest. Beerman's, how's it going? I sent off the your thing for the pint-sized panner, so you should be getting that soon. Brewers, how's it going? Nah, that's all right, Outfitter. I already reviewed one. I want to just get one for me for like when I'm not doing a review. You know, I'm sure he'll put them back up soon. Yeah. Either that or we just got to wait for Dave to find his next great place to go. So, I mean, he's been doing it once a year. I mean, was it last year? You know, early last year he had the Mexican Paydirt, and this year he's got the Hard Rock. So we just have to wait a couple months till he finds his new little spot. Cockatoo Birdman, how's it going? David Stocks, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show, being a mod. I appreciate it. Can't stop me now. We dropped our new Paydirt. Oh, let me go see. Let me see what that is. Let's see. You see, I have one on my shelf now. Let's see. Oh, I have to look at these. Vein Mountain Blend. All right. Man, you got so many different offerings. You're killing my daily ROI charts. I'm having to copy paste your stuff so much. And you need to stop running out of stock, then fill in stock. That looks awesome, brother. Now I'm going to have to get one of the blue bags for my shelf, maybe. I kind of like the blue bag better. I might just swap them out. Oh, here, let me look at these. Let me see. Extra $4. Yeah, I kind of like that bag. Dang it. Y'all people need to stop coming out with cool looking bags for my shelf. I ain't got money for that. No, all right. But those are cool. I like those. Now if I can find my chat box. Here it is. He had 80 bags? Wow. All right. That must have gone quick. I'll have to I kept this tab open, so I have it on my desktop now. So yeah, I've tried the Conmingo app a few times. I'm not a huge fan of apps. I have to say the learning curve on it was a little bit too steep for me. So I was like, okay, I can't use this. So I just stopped kind of using it. So I'm glad he has a desktop version that I can like get onto. I can do desktop stuff. Liz always makes fun of me because she'll send me something like for Facebook or something else, and I just forward it to my email, then go to my laptop, open my laptop, and look at stuff. She's like, there's apps. And I'm like, I just can't do the app stuff. Yeah, we need a couple more Jeffs. There's a lot of Johns. I was looking at my Patreon names today. A lot of Johns, a lot of Joshes, a lot of J's, Jeffs. Mr. Meanleaf, how's it going? Thank you for joining the chat. Thank you for joining the live show. I'm working on a simpler offerings and a system. No, I mean, if you can keep up with it, keep it. I don't mind. It gives me a little bit of work to do. Just don't run out of stock. See, if you keep stock the exact same all the time, I never have to adjust anything but prices. It's just when somebody runs out of stock, I have to take them off, move them to a different list, take them off, move them to a list. And you tend to run it all out at once. Imagination to form, yeah. PA Patriot, what's up, brother? Josh's rule. Yeah. So I always have to start checking his Conmingo more often. So, I always have to say, I'm always amazed at Dave. Dave will show you the biggest pieces of gold he's got. He'll find these giant, amazing pieces of gold that anyone would be happy with and retire and be like, okay, I don't need to, I'll be happy just to go around prospecting every once in a while. But Dave does that. But then on the side, every few years, Dave has these ingenious ideas of his to, become incredibly wealthy that have nothing to do with gold. They don't seem to go very far. He had his auction site. He had, what else did he have? His auction site. He had his IO site. He had, he did a couple different things over the years. I'm like, you're finding, couple $100,000 worth of gold every year, and you're still doing this. He's a crazy man, that's for sure. Tony, how's it going? Been sick for the last 4 days. Got some kind of virus that everyone's getting. Yeah, I've been sick. I mean, the last live show I was sick. And then I was just getting better. Like the last live show, I was just getting better. And then the next day I was sick again. I've been sick for like 2 weeks. I spend more time at Walmart buying tissue boxes and medicine than anything else. So getting videos out and stuff like that has just been hard. I can do the editing. I can do the thumbnails. I have thumbnails for my next 5 videos already made, or the concepts of some of them done. Concepts are big. You just got to have a concept for. It's just, I can't shoot the videos because I'll come down here to start shooting and my nose just pouring out everywhere. And I'm like, okay. So then by the time I'm finished blowing it and stuffing it with cotton so it can't see, my nose is bright red. So I'm like, okay, I got to give it a while. And, doesn't look my kind of guy. Yeah, Dave's a character. I like him. He's a good guy. So. Do I owe you gold, Jeffrey? Zach, how's it going? There are a few out there with that. Love of the game, that's it. I have a concept of money. I have a concept on how to get more gold. It's just not working out. Yep, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're blowing your nose so bad all the time when you're starting to put like Vaseline on your nose just to make it stop hurting from rubbing it. Even with I'm one of those people too. Like if I stock tissues in my house, I buy the cheapest ones. It's like, I don't blow my nose that often. Cheap. And now I'm like buying the most expensive ones with lotion built into them and stuff. And it's still like, oh my gosh. Or at Goldfinger. Some people I know up here in Washington? Huh. Oh, hey Liz. Thanks for popping in. Your name just doesn't pop in. I don't know why. Here, it's always so hard to see your name. I don't know why. But thank you for joining the show. Weather's getting a little bit. Gold nugget sales. But yeah, we're going to be going through some stuff. Where you live is always kind of cold, so. Ollie Skeeter, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, the more you use them, the rougher they get. After you've been blowing your nose for a couple of days, it just you grab the softest tissue, the butterfly kiss tissues, and you're right. It feels like like you could sand a piece of burly wood with it. So I'm over being sick, but just my body hasn't realized that I'm tired of being sick. So I'm hoping. The weather was a little bit nice today. I have all my windows open. I'm going to go do a walk tonight at the skate park with my son. So I'm hoping I'll be over this sickness soon. Because I do have to shoot the video for Monday. I do have a brand new review coming out for Monday. So it might be a really nasally video with lots of edits for me having to splice it all up from having to blow my nose. Okay, bye, Liz. Lindsay, still freezing in Alberta? Yeah. It's going to be cold there for a while. So, but all right, let's start reading off the names, see who won. What are the prizes? So again, let me see. Let me go through the prizes first. What do we have? Now, I will say, for future Patreon gauze, I know this one is a little bit different for March, but from March forward, I'm going to start doing where the $25, $79 tier is going to get 3 prizes, a first place, second place, third place. The $10 tier is going to start getting 2 prizes, a first and a second. And then the $5 tier will get 1 prize. So it's just a little bit more reason to go in the higher tiers because there's more chances you can win something. They might change, like, for March, I'm doing some of the national quarters, silver quarters, and these are solid silver. They're not the clads. And, so there might be a second prize, might be a Paydirt for the $25, $79 tier. It might be a spin on the wheel, things like that. But just more incentive for the higher tiers or more rewards for the higher tiers. So, and if the $79 tier keeps doing good, I might actually break it up into its own tier. I'll have to see. I have to do the math on it. I don't know if because I'm sending y'all Paydirt because y'all want gold and stuff. There might not be enough money left over to actually have its own tier. I'll have to see. Still freezing in Alberta, doing my video from back in August. Down with the sickness. No, what is, I think the full moon is like today or tomorrow, something like that. So I know, got my tea. I can't even have coffee anymore. I'm just drinking tea all the time. So for March's prizes, what do we have? For the $25, $79 tier, there were 2 prizes. A 1.8 gram bag of Miller Prospecting Paydirt. The Tuesday Tailings is good stuff here. And then second place is a spin on the Wheel of Treasures. And I have added a whole bunch of new prizes to the wheel to try to make it better. And I'm going to continue to keep adding prizes to it as I get stuff in and make stuff better. For the $10 tier, there's just one prize, a 0.6 gram bag of Paydirt. For the $5 tier, we have a 0.4 gram bag of Paydirt. Do we have a card over here somewhere? For the free members, here we go. Free members, we get this. Miller Prospecting Gold-Plated Dime. And then, of course, we have the consolation prize for everyone. So even if you're horrible at guessing, or if you're like Wheeze and Geezer and you forget to guess, or PA where you guess a day late, you know, you can still get in. You get the consolation. Everyone's name will be added to a wheel, and we'll spin on the Wheel of Treasures. So, and there is Paydirt. There's gold on the Wheel of Treasures. There's silver. There's copper. Whole bunch of good prizes on there. Paydirt, all kinds of things. So, is there a rando comment pick tonight? Yes, there is. I will even pin it. There we go. I don't know. Probably a lot. Lunar eclipse was last night, all right. I know I looked it up the other day and I just couldn't remember when it was. So here we go. So we're just going to pin it. Make sure you go to the very top of chat. There will be a pinned message from Nightbot, and then you can win a spin on the Wheel of Treasures. It's a different wheel. It doesn't have as many goodies as the Patreon wheel, but there is a wheel on there as well. You're not a Patreon member, Tony, or are you? You might be a free one. So I don't even, if I ever guessed on it. I don't think you did. So yeah, I wish there was a way to like force people, like you can't log in unless you guess, you know. I know people that guess that when there's not a lot of guesses, prefer when there's not as many people guessing because it increases their odds of winning. But I always want everyone to have a chance, which is why I started the consolation prize, because I know it happens. You know, I do it all the time. Like I'll see a video and it'll say like post this, then come back the next day and post this to win, and I'll forget and totally not be there. Or there'll be ones where, you know, you have to join the live show to claim your prize, kind of like mine, you know, and I forget all those things. So, you know, I want the consolation prize. You don't have to guess. You don't have to be here or anything else like that. If you're a Patreon member, you'll get a shot at it. So. And then tonight, I think, is there actually 2 consolation prizes? Yeah, I'm pulling 2 names. So there's 2 consolation pulls tonight. So mine don't count. No, I'm not, Michael. No, I have my son and my daughter come over this weekend. So yeah, everyone does gold shows. I was talking to Ed about it the other day. Every time there's a gold show or a prospecting trip or anything anywhere near me where it's reasonable I can get to it, it's always on the weekends I have my kids. It's never on the next weekend. It's always and it's just generally everything. Like, you know, my church, when they do things, like when they have special things, it's always on my week. It's never on the odd weeks, you know. Something comes to town, if the circus comes to town or something, then it's exact opposite. Like if it's something I want to take my kids to, it's on the week that I don't have my kids. So I just have the worst luck with like weekend stuff. Bring the kids. They're not too much into that. And that would be, you know, they would classify it as kidnapping. If my kids were younger, I would. That's the thing. When my kids were younger, there was nothing in Indiana. There was nothing going on in Indiana. Here, you'll have to excuse me. Let me guess. There was, you know, never anything around here. There wasn't Freedom Fest or any of these things. And I mean, the first Freedom Fest, I did take my son to it. So, you know, but then he kind of outgrew that and, you know, wanted to do his own thing. So. Yeah, thank you, Michael. You know. JP, what's up, brother? How you been doing? You know, and where's gold at? Gold took a big drop today. I haven't looked at it since this morning. Is it still heading down? It looks like it's making a little bit. Yeah, so it's a little stable again now. It just seems to do those like drastic. I mean, it's because it's so high that whenever it does any type of dip or up, it's just a huge jump. Goes from 160 to 165, then 165 down to 161, then up to 170, then down 165. So 164.66. So it's a little up for today. Looking at the feed, it's kind of just going up and down a little bit, a couple pennies. So, and I just bought a nugget when it was at its peak the other day. What you gonna do, Could have waited another day and maybe gotten it for $5 or $10 cheaper. Getting ready to start dredging? There you go, brother. I want to see it at $40 a gram. I can tell you, I do miss, if I wish I had the number of Paydirt sellers. I wish there was the number of Paydirt sellers that there are now, back when it was $40 a gram, and the community was as big as it is now back then. If everything you think about Paydirt now and the community, if that would have been 8 years ago, this would probably be one of the largest communities on YouTube and all the other ones, just the growth. Because the amount of growth that came in 10 years with, Paydirt is actually incredible. And gold's just gotten more and more expensive, which means it should be going smaller. When something becomes, harder and harder to do. But it's just more and more people are joining and finding the absolute fun of panning. So I got a lot of big nuggets. Feel free, if they're ever too big for you, just feel free to send them my way, Tony. I don't mind. I'll take them anytime. So I'll just start selling as people getting $350 for 1 gram. Where are you seeing that? I need to start selling gold somewhere if people are getting $350 for a gram. I mean, I see some crazy prices on Whatnot for gold, and yeah, that's crazy. That's got to be. You have to worry though. See, a lot of times it's one of the reasons why, except for people I know on Whatnot, I would not bid on gold on Whatnot, because you can always have a friend up bids. It was one of the things that used to be really prevalent in old eBay was shadow bidders. Like you had a gold nugget up for sale and you needed to get $80 for it. You'd call your friend and say, hey, bid $80. That way, if they want it, they didn't have to pay. You would just relist it and redo it. It didn't cost you anything. But then if their friend had an $80 bid, the next person that bid would pay 81 or 82, and now you're making extra money because of your friend. So it's one thing I always worry about auction stuff. So some of those waffle pages. So, and just because somebody's listing something for that price, because I did see somebody the other day. I went on somebody's, maybe it was Etsy. I think it was Etsy. I was looking at somebody's nuggets on Etsy, and they were charging just for a regular California nugget that just looked like a blob. They were charging $300 a gram. So I mean, they have people. It doesn't mean they sell. They might sell one piece where somebody else that's making 25, charging $200 for a nice piece is selling 100 of them. So, David Hamilton, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Well, that's awesome. I know I have a jar full of quarters. I was telling somebody, I think it was last week or the week before, I used to go through them every year. I'd go through all my quarters to look. I mostly look for just, I go through all my change, look for dimes and silver dimes and silver quarters, or West Point quarters. And last year I didn't do it. I don't know why. So I'll have to do it soon. Is HD here? HD, what's up, brother? Thank you for popping in, even if it is late. Gene does things. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you being here. I appreciate everyone who's here. If I miss you, I apologize, but I do appreciate everyone that hangs out on these live shows. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing any panning tonight. Like I said, we're just going to be giving away some stuff, and we're not going to be here long. Probably another 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops. I'm heading to Cloud9. Well, you enjoy Cloud9, brother. Here, let's just start doing some stuff. Let's start reading off the names of people we'll do. There's a guest sheet. Here we go. We're going to pop up the sheet right now. There we go. We'll start going through all the guesses. This is the $25 guesses. We had Brian at 3.36, Whiskey Lover at 2.71, Cockatoo Birdman Bill, 4.11. James Staudy at 3.47. Thomas Layhot, 3.18. Dave, Those Left Behind, 3.27. Alan Curie, 3.24. K3. And everyone give some healthy wishes for Alan Curie. He just took a spill and hurt himself pretty bad the other day. KC Sring, 3.21. HD Chevrolet, 3.75. Mark Sheldon, 3.54. Justin Framstad, 3.30. Joel Jeffrey, 2.79. Jacob E23, 3.33. David Stocks, 3.36. Scott LeMay, 2.79. Keithan Wynn, 1.99. Josh Ortiz, 3.57. Teo, 4.20. Jake Niep, 2.97. John Wrench Prospecting, 3.82. Mike Reed, 3.66. And they did guess, but it doesn't count. But I just put them on my list anyway. But Scott Chavaria, 2.63, and PA Patriot, 3.26. I just wanted to see where they would have stocked, where they would have fell if they would have put their guess in time. So I put them on there. They don't count, though, and they did not win. So, and then, who else we got? Let's change the sheet out to the $10 sheet. There we go. We got a lot of silver coins, not just sure what to do with them. Sell them, brother. My GNS package mystery was solved. Oh, yeah? How'd it go? Oh, it went to your neighbors. Yeah, I've had packages show up at neighbors. I had one show up like I had moved, and I had a package that was delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and a month later it showed up at my old apartment. Luckily, it was somebody nice lived there, and I went and left a note, and they were like, yeah, we'll save it for you when it shows up. So, all right, $10 guesses. We had Jesse Eads at 7.38, Alejandro 1.89, and 7.38. Really? Sean McKeelan, 2.31. Stephen LeBlanc, 2.57. John Hogan, 2.11. In the Woods, 2.78. I just like that name. Richard Dow, 2.25. Joe and Denise, 2.35. Wesley, 3.28. Brian Carson, 1.92. Reg Lab, 3.45. 308 Prospecting, 3.83. Package Total, 1.78. And I saw Package Total in chat earlier, I think, and I didn't say hi. So hi, Package Total. David Edgar, 2.85. Matthew Scouron, 4.2. Knights 880, 2.62. Bradley Root, 4.25. Robert Caldwell, 1.37. Jason Gastoni, 1.25. So there we go. We'll change it up to $5. Oh, GNS put the wrong address on there. Oh, my. Yeah, trade it for gold. That's always, I mean, I can tell you that's what I did. I recently had some gold coins that I didn't collect, that I didn't really, they were just in my kids' collection. I didn't like them. So, I sold them when gold was actually much higher. And after I sold them, I ended up getting 3 smaller pieces, so I ended up getting a little bit more gold, but I bought some other gold that I like for the collection. Kids' birthdays, dates like that. So, Alaskan Assassin, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Scott Roberts. That's awesome, brother. At least you got it. So, all right, let's do the $5 tier. Where is $5? There we go. $5 tier. Read those off. Zach Ashworth, 2.96. Daniel Lewis, 2.34. Alaskan Assassin, 2.69. He just showed up to make sure his guess is in there. David Danderan, 2.8. Kyle Gibson, 3.1. John Myers, 2.11. Chris W., 3.15. John Toms, 1.94. Outfitter, 3.67. Bush Wookie, 2.67. John Miller, 0.61. Corporal Yeager, 4.27. Matt Philly, 2.9. John Gear, 3.2. Josh Rumbuck, 3.33. John Feeler, 2.99. Josh Kaufman, 2.88. Blake Tolson, 2.94. Richard Zeich, 1.2. Justin Curtis, 3.35. Kristen Reed, 4.15. Clarence Bierman, 1.88. Mega Silver Stacker, 3.91. Jeffrey Button, 3.29. Jeff Bosch, 3.51. And Morgan Brown, 4. Just 4. So not as many 420s as I thought. People have been slowing down on the 420 guesses. All right, let's do the free tier. This is all the free members. Here we go. Read those off. And we'll catch up on chat. And I'm just going to read the names as I can. Some of these I can't pronounce. So Al, 2.94. Curtis, 1.28. Shane, 1.68. Luciano, 1.64. Ollie Skeeter, 3.26. Blaze, 1.65. I grew up with someone named Blaze. Jeff O'Reilly, 3.96. Calvin Boland, 1.58. Jarrett, 3.78. Miss Independent, 2.37. Michael, 1.92. Zoltan, 1.57. The famous John R. Prospecting, who didn't show up so far tonight, 1.74. Mr. Meanleaf, 2.14. Groovy Gold Hunter, join my Patreon. Even as a free tier, that's pretty awesome. 3.76. Got him and John R. Prospecting here. That's pretty good. Richard Comerford, 1.57. I will tell you, neither one of them guessed the right one. Mike Chase, 2.88. Bill Snodgrass, 2.67. Jeff Bakey, 2.23. And Richard and Denicia, 2.25. So those are all the guesses. Hold on a second. I'm getting a text from my son. Sorry about that. Son texting me. So there we go. Let's move the sheet back to the $25 sheet. We'll take all the sheets off actually for right now. I'm going to do the gold guessing. We'll show the video so you can see how good or bad you did with your guesses. Let me do chat real quick. What? You see Miller Prospecting, Flower Gold Wizards? That's because I'm on 2 different tiers for Flower Gold Wizards. And I can tell you, it is not... So when Jason first started his thing on Circle, I was a person that was beta testing it for him. So, because we were trying to figure out how to send, people to join and make it. Because originally when you joined, no matter what tier you got, like if you joined the $6 tier, you could see everything in every tier. So we were going back and forth trying to make it so he could, essentially have it just like Patreon, where every tier you just saw that tier, you had the prize and stuff. So when I joined, I guess, the $6 tier. Then to try and make it, I joined the $12 tier to make sure, I would only see each one's. And then I kind of forgot that I joined 2 tiers. And I totally forgot because when I go in, it still shows me the normal stuff, that I'm looking at. And I didn't realize, and then every month my credit card gets billed and I look at it and I say, dang, I need to close one of those tiers down and just stay on the $12 tier. And then I forget. And then the next month rolls around and I'm like, dang, I need to stop paying for that $6 tier. So eventually I'll be, and then I even tell myself, I'm like, well, if I'm spending that, I might as well just join the $25 tier and get rid of the other 2. But then I always forget. So David Danderan, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show. Groovy Gold Hunter never paid me for the Paydirt I sent him. Oh, that sucks. I'm sure that's just a miscommunication. He's a pretty good dude. Can I guess in the free tier? And no, you can only guess in 1 tier. So, because I do have people that join the free tier and they'll guess, and then they upgrade at some point during the month, and they only get 1 guess. So, I mean, I've told them, I tell everyone they can either keep their free tier guess or they can keep their 5, 10, whatever tier they join guess. But there's no reason to keep the free one because all you get is a gold-plated dime, and as soon as you become a paid member, I send you one of these anyway. So, you're better off at least trying for a Paydirt, So, yeah, once you become a paid member, I send you a gold-plated dime on the Miller Prospecting card. So, you know, you don't want the free guess anyway, and all you'd be doing is taking away a prize from somebody else. And no, you only get to guess in one tier. And I've had it before where people have been in the $10 tier and jumped to the $25 tier. Because, by the way, the $25 tier is probably, well, the $79 tier is the best tier because you get Paydirt, but the $25 tier gets the most prizes and it's got the best percentage of chance to win. Less people guess in the $25 tier. Hey, Miss, I'm always looking to buy from people I haven't been yet. Yeah. So he used to run Blue Tundra, the website. So I was looking at your website the other day, Tony, because I was like, oh, I wonder how this website's going. I didn't even know you had half those Paydirts. Doing great. Won the dono bag? That's awesome, brother. Anytime you win some free Paydirt, anytime you win anything these days is good. I did put 6 grams in there, and he said he found 3. Ah, well, you got to clean your gold, Tony. That's user error. Somebody either... Did you tell him to send you back the dirt? He should send the dirt to me. Tell him if he doesn't have the dirt, send it to me. Because I will say, that was the one... Tony's Paydirt is kind of hard. Him and Yukon Alley, y'all get some of that dirty, dirty gold. Where if you don't know, like, you know, there's gold where solid black. And you just have to know how it moves in the pan to know it's not, you know, a big piece of ironstone, that it's actually gold. So, yeah, I've been opening up since my son. Yeah. I'd like gold dirt, but I couldn't do the 79 tier one. I just got to do it once. Get a free bag of Paydirt. And the way it works, so with the $79 tier, the way it works is you get $50 worth of Paydirt based on what I pay for the gold or spot price. So, for example, last month, I think I only paid, gold spot was right around $160 last month. That's what it averaged. Because when I make up the bags, it's right after the first when all my members are joined. And I had bought some gold, so I only paid $140. So you got $50 worth of gold at $140 spot, and then the other $29 goes towards shipping, and then for the gold guessing contest is the $25 tier. So you're essentially you get the $25 tier plus $50 worth of gold. You know, Mega Silver Stacker, what's up, brother? Miss Independent, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining the show, even the people that aren't posting in chat. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And again, make sure if you're here late or you didn't notice, go to the top of chat. Nightbot does have the little pinned comment to win a chance for the wheel tonight. I will be pulling one name in a little bit, so everyone can get a chance in on the wheel of treasures. Maybe you can win some gold or silver or copper or something tonight. So just for looking at my ugly mug. Midwest Gold Fever, how's it going? But here, now that we read off everyone's guesses, is it easy to cancel tiers? Yeah, you can cancel them at any time. It just, all you have to do is go, like, it'll, on the top right, it'll ask you, you just say, you go to your tier, and it'll say, do you want to upgrade? And it'll say, can you cancel? And yeah, it's pretty easy to cancel. Yeah, because I have people all the time that just, like, you know, I used to, like, when I first started my Patreon, I would get people all the time that would just join the $5 tier and then cancel 2 days later because they just wanted me to send them the gold-plated dime. Rainy and soggy here. Yeah, it was raining all day yesterday. It was raining all this morning. It's going to rain for the next 3 days. But today, after it stopped raining at 11, it warmed up to like 68, and it's been nice. So, safety meeting on. Yeah. But all right, let's pop up the video. Let me think this is it. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Here, we're going to skip forward. There we go. It's like here. Because I forgot to edit this down. So let's show you. This is the gold. This is the video you saw for the gold guessing. This is what everyone guessed on for February. No. Oh, no. There we go. I can't wait to 68. Yeah, I was really surprised because, like I said, I've been sick, so I haven't really been paying attention, and I just had to go. And of course, being sick, I had to go get my blood drawn for a doctor's appointment I have later in the week. So I was like, well, let me just go suck it up and get it drawn now. I'm already miserable. It's like Mickey Mouse. It does. I might get to 48. Ugh. So there we go. There it is. Let me see. Let me pause it. Make sure the video doesn't end. But 2.67. So think about your guess and how close or far away you were from 2.67. And we'll start going through them and declaring the winners. We're going to start with the $25, 2.67. There we go. $25 tier. Who is the winner again? First place was Whiskey Lover. So congratulations to Whiskey Lover. And I will say, Scott Chavaria would have come in second place because he had the exact same guess, or he had the same distance a guess away of 0.04, but he guessed a day late. So in first place goes to Whiskey Lover. Second place goes to Joel Jeffrey. So Joel Jeffrey, he's won a few times. Always comes out every few while. So Whiskey Lover will be winning a 1.8 gram bag of Miller Prospecting Paydirt. This right here is an awesome prize for Whiskey Lover. I heard he's a really big Scotch fan too. I don't know if y'all know that, but I think he likes Scotch a whole bunch. Scotch and vodka from what I've heard. So, and then we'll have to pull the name. So who won second place? Joel gets a spin on the wheel. So we'll have to spin the wheel when we get to it later on and pull his name first. But congratulations to Whiskey Lover and Joel Jeffrey. Now, again, next month I will start, or the month after next, so in April, all the way through the end of the year, we will have 3 prizes for the $25 tier, 2 prizes for the $10 tier, and 1 prize for the $5 tier. I think, so next month, so March does have 3, 2, 2. It'll just because I had 5 of those quarters. Congratulations to those winners. And nobody else. Now, don't forget, though, even if you didn't win, there's still the consolation prize, so you can still win a bag of Paydirt or some gold or something. We got some really good gems in there in the wheel that you can win with some. But let's see, guess sheet. We will go to the $10. I can find it. There we go. There we go. The $25 done. $10 tier. First place goes to Knights 880. I don't know if he's ever won before. I think he won a long time ago, but Knights 880 is the winner for first place. Now, I didn't have a second place, but if I would have, it would have been Stephen LeBlanc. So, Stephen, you were that close. You're doing good on your guesses. You're just like, I think every week you're just a little bit off. So, next time, just add a little bit more to it or a little bit less. Knights 880. And we had Whiskey Lover in first. Whiskey Lover is an absolute great guy. So he's donated a few prizes to the wheel. And now we're going to do the $5 tier. Go through those. See who won that one. For the 5, now again, the prize is the gold nuggets all weighed up to 2.67, in case I've already forgotten. $5 tier. First place went to Bush Wookie. The only person that guessed it exact, Bush Wookie. I might in the future do something. I'll have to figure out and price out the numbers. That if somebody guesses something exactly, I might do something extra for them. I don't know what. I'll have to figure it out. But Bush Wookie is a winner. Bush Wookie is winning a 0.40 gram bag of Paydirt. And what was it? Knights 880. He won a 0.6 gram bag of Paydirt. So getting some Paydirts out there. Bush Wookie, congratulations. It's awesome. This is his first win. I'm pretty sure it's his first win on the channel. So good luck and congratulations to him. Then we have, last one is for all those free tier members. I'll have to look to see how close Tony would have done. I guess 2.37, Tony. You were 0.3 off. And the 0 guesses was, what is it? First place. Oh, no. Bill Snodgrass. He had it on the dot as well. Bill Snodgrass, you won. Gold-plated Miller Prospecting dime. You do have to email me, though. Here, I will post my email in chat. Sip scotch, yeah. If it's not scotch, like bars. So yeah, Bill, just make sure, Bill Snodgrass, I know you were in chat earlier. Hopefully you're still lurking around. Make sure you email me, Dylan at Miller Prospecting, because Patreon does not show free tier members emails or addresses or any of that stuff. So send me your address so I can send that off to you. It's definitely rigged. It's 100% rigged. If it's not rigged, it's not right, John. That's how it goes. Now let's just see. Maybe I rigged it for you, because we still do have the consolation prize. We're going to do that in a minute. Let me make sure everything's right. So we're going to do the wheels for the consolation prize, which will be Joel Jeffrey, and then 2 more spins for just every member of Patreon. So we'll get rid of this guessing sheet. Make sure y'all can see all of my treasures here on the wall of treasures, all my wonderful Paydirts up there. Has anyone heard from Jonathan from Black Mass recently? I need to send him a message. I haven't seen him around too much. I don't know if he's been busy or not. So, but all right, let's do. Let me see what is. Let me go. Let me make sure the wheel of names is right. Make sure everyone's on there. All right. Get the wheel names of prizes. YouTube. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink down my ugly mug. But let me see. Window capture. Make sure that's on. Yeah. So here we go. Do that. Now again, before we do this, make sure if you haven't already, you go to the top of live chat post, follow the link on that pinned comment, and go leave a comment. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go off camera for a second, excavate and get rid of, blow my nose, and before everything starts gushing out on live camera. Let me see. Any clues for this month's guest? No clues for this month's guest. This month and next month are just nuggets I purchased. That's it. So there was no guesses. The other ones were coming from bags of Paydirt, but I haven't seen any good Paydirts that have like guaranteed nuggets. The only one was like I was going to buy a bag of Paydirt from Gold Putts, but he's a Patreon member. So then I would have to eliminate him from being able to guess, and that's not fair to him because I wanted to get one of his big nugget bags to pan out during a live show, but then he wouldn't be able to guess. I don't know if he even guesses, though. I'll have to see. Knocking everything over. I'll have to see. But, yeah, so if I don't pan it out in the live show, there's really no guesses or hints. Future kids, what's a penny? That's right. Save all your pennies. Save all your copper pennies. No. But, all right, I'll be right back. Let me turn off the microphone for a second. And we're back. Only works when I say that if the camera's on. I mean, if the microphone's on. Should do a slow scan of shells so we can get a better look at those Paydirts. Just zoom in. Just pause and zoom in. I made sure. So I am not covering any of the Paydirts. There's no Paydirts that are behind me, I think. Well, maybe, okay, we have... Who are those that are missing? Mega Dog. Can you see that one? Yeah, Mega Dog. So... Oh, the LXRs are missing. You can't see the LXRs. And PA Patriot, you can see that one. No, yeah. But I kind of make sure when I made the shelves that I have enough room so I'm not covering them. The only one that's kind of hidden is this one from Ozark Bucks. I need to put another light on it. I need to get another light source to shine on Ozark Bucks. Because that's one of my favorite bags too, so... Dylan is cussing. I will say every once in a while I do cuss. I don't ever cuss on camera though, so I don't have to guess. What's up, Putz? How's it going, brother? Please talk about your unclaimed property. Sadly, I don't have any unclaimed property. I still check that. I check it like once a year. I'm like, maybe something happened. Maybe I did something, but I haven't used many of the recipes though. My kids and Liz's daughter are very, very picky eaters like this. And when you got picky eater kids, it's hard to do stuff. But I did do the enchilada meatballs. They like those because they do eat Mexican stuff. So I'm going to have to go through it some more. I might have to tweak some of them and look at them and see if I can't find stuff that they'll eat by adding something or subtracting something. Like I just did a recipe the other day. Like I did a stir fry of something and I had to take out like half the ingredients, pick through like the stir fry mix to take out half, then add in other stuff that they liked. So no, you don't have, I've never bought a bag of yours to put on my shelf. When you had Blue Tundra, when Blue Tundra was open, I didn't have, like if you go back 2 years ago in my old videos, I didn't actually have Paydirt on my shelves. It was all like Gold Rush bags and just pans and stuff like that. I only started adding Paydirts, actual Paydirts to my shelf. I think like the first ones I got was HD and JP. So when I got the ones from JP and HD, I started saying, well, why don't I just start collecting people's Paydirts on there? Because a lot of them were given to me, like probably, big chunk of the ones that are on the shelf are people who gave them to me, or I won them or traded for them and things like that. So, the only thing I have up here, and you can't see it again, is the only thing I have from you, Tony, is I still have this. I still have the Anita dirt. I still have the Anita dirt. So I still have that. It's just I keep it on that side and I always forget on that side of the live chat. So yeah, I still have some of your dirt. I still have some of Anita's Paydirt, but I don't actually have a bag of the Paydirt. John R. Prospecting, what's up? How's it going? I still have the 3 gram Anita's. I think the Anita's Paydirt, that was the one I was talking to Ed about it the other day. I said that was the one that I wish I would have bought. I like the Anita's bag. I think Anita's was the best bag out of all of them. Just, not gold or anything, just the best looking. Because typically when I add a bag to my shelf, it's because I like the way it looks or it's very specific Paydirt. Like the GNS ones. I don't carry any of his that aren't like unique. The Vendettas, I carry the Vendettas that are in the burlap bags. These are custom bags, and some of them I keep just because they stopped selling. Ferrymen no longer in business. Banshee Mining is a custom bag for me, so Digger Duggar, Spider Ace, an old Tommy Knockers bag because Tommy Knockers doesn't sell. So most of the ones, if they're plain bags, is because they don't sell anymore. If the bag's special, I like them. So maybe Sunday. I know everyone wants some Eskimos. He needs to open up his site again. So, all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Make sure, again, while I'm doing stuff, if you haven't already, go to the pinned comment above, click that link in there, go leave a comment. All that's required is you leave a comment and then make sure you stay here. So if I call your name, you can win a prize. So the Nino Lay is still unopened. Who made the hourglass Paydirt? I don't remember. I knew somebody in chat will remember. Shane. Because I know they sent me a thing. I know whoever it was, they sent me a link to where they got the hourglass from so I could get one. And then I just kind of forgot about it. Yeah, I like I said, I like the Anita's bag. It was the one I kind of wish I would have gotten for the shelf, but Tony's still around, so I got time. But all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Start doing some guesses. Start spinning the wheel. Best website on the internet. Can't go wrong. Miller Prospecting. Top 10 recommended sellers. I will be changing that as soon as I feel better. The top 10 is going to change. Some new sellers going to be added, some old sellers taken off, things like that. I need to add some in there. Lucky Strike Paydirt is going on the list. I'm trying to feature sellers that pretty much have Paydirt in stock. Some of these sellers, unfortunately, Brad's Bucket really doesn't have stock a lot. Bear Prospecting, as much as I love both of them, you know, the same reason Yukon Alley doesn't have anything in stock. And, you know, what is the British site that has Paydirt, but it's almost never in stock too. You know, so there's a few sellers, if they just don't have it in stock, you know, there's somebody else that does have Paydirt in stock. So the top 10, as soon as I feel better, will be going better. And if you haven't watched yet and you've been contemplating getting the Switchback Sluice, make sure you go watch that review before you do. I do have a follow-up video coming. I have the Switchback right here. I'm getting ready to shoot another video with it because I've got some more things to point out about the Switchback. Since I did see that the owner of Prospector's Dream left a comment on my videos, which I haven't replied to yet, but he wasn't happy with my video. So that tells you something right there. If you haven't yet, just make sure you go and watch that video, especially before you go and drop over $200 on a sluice. So, but all right, here we go. Wheel of Names. This is every single Patreon member I have. Hold on a second. Andy Casey, how's it going? Better raise my ROIs before you update the top 10. No, it doesn't. Now I will say most of my top 10 does have to do with ROI. I mean, because obviously most people are trying to buy Paydirt or trying to get the top ROIs, but it's not everything, because some sellers, they might have the top ROI. Like Brian Thomas Gold is very finicky with his pricing. You know, like he will keep it low and have a really good ROI. Then he'll jump it up an astronomical amount. Like he'll go up on a 1 gram bag up 20, 25 bucks because he realized he's been underpriced. But then gold will drop some and it should have just been a $10 raise, and he'll leave it over high for a long time. So yeah, I you know, if you didn't watch the video, let me just I will tell you, it is a cash grab. It is nothing but a cash grab. There's nothing good quality about the Switchback. I mean, it works. I won't say that. Like if you already spent money on it, it works. It does work. It will catch the gold. It's not just a total money grab, but you could spend 89 bucks and get the, you know, the little Boss Buddy and catch gold just as well, you know, so there's no reason to spend an extra 140 bucks. So yeah, all the Switchback is doing is making, you're going to have to pan out more black sands. You're going to have, you know, 2.5 times as much black sands, and you'll still catch almost all your gold in the top mat. So, you know, Boss Buddy or the Buddy Sluice is all you need. So yeah, I know that's Dave's roommate. Yeah, they're best friends. Yeah. No. And they're best friends because of me. So Brian, I talked to Brian one time. So Brian had never thought like Brian was doing like his little rapper thing or something like that. He was doing that country rap. Him and his band, he was in a band, and he came across one of my videos about Dave's 3 gram bag of Paydirt, and he thought it was super cool. So he was like, "Oh, that's awesome on it." So he started emailing Dave, and they just started talking, and you know, he moved over there, and they started hanging out. Now they're best friends, and that's how he met Kayla, his wife or girlfriend, you know, his fiance. So they're trying to, yeah. So that was the comments. So John, one of the comments they said in the video is the guy who's got the little spin wheel. He said, "Oh, it attaches to it, so it makes the Switchback better." And I guarantee you, if I go buy one of those spinner things, I could figure out a way to attach it to it without spending an extra 150 bucks. You know, that they could have 3D printed something that could attach. There's a clip on here, something like that to attach it. You know, they're trying to say that this Switchback is going to be a modular system, but that's the exact same thing they said about the old one. So the original thing they had with this matting was, remember, it just came like this essentially, and it had the metal legs that you would stick down. It's the original sluice they had. And it was supposed to be their modular system, and it didn't take off. It wasn't very good. So they didn't get a lot of sales on it, probably. It didn't sell. So then they came out with this, and this took off. So then they made the Boss Buddy a bigger version because they really like to use that adventure mat. I'm guessing it's because most people have the adventure mat, or they're trying to sell more of them. And then they did the switchback, saying it's, going to have attachments to it. You can attach anything. Get some bungee cords. It's just silliness, because I know where they're going to put this, the things. The way they're going to do it is they're going to set it here. That's why these notches are here. They're going to set it right in there. But all that's going to mean is that when you have the little rolly bar in there, you're going to have to keep taking the rolly bar out every few minutes, cleaning it off, putting it back in there. It's the same thing. All they're doing is making more problems with this thing. One, this thing is a pain. You have to always clean it off. And now they're going to have a rolly part in the center that you're going to have to keep cleaning off. They designed something for problems that didn't exist. So it's just like they're trying to make, it's one of those things where, so here, we're going to talk about this in a minute. Y'all might as well look at my ugly mug full size. It was the same thing as the banjo pan. When Mike Pun invented the banjo pan, he clearly said, he did an interview where it did not solve any problems. The only reason he made the banjo pan was because that little piece of matting, every time they cut a gold cube, when they got the gold cube matting, they had a little 2.5 inch piece that they had to cut off every single one because they were getting it in a roll that I guess was like 18 inches and the gold cube was like 15.5 inches. So they were cutting off all these long strips and they had nothing they could use for it. And he said, and then one day they just thought up, well, why don't we just cut a little piece and put it in a banjo pan, like they invented the banjo pan. And it wasn't because it was a better system. The banjo pan was just a way for them to sell all those little bitty pieces of scrap. And it's the same thing with this. They're not solving any problems. They're just making more problems. It's a money grab. It's nothing more, But you'll have to see. In my next video, I explain why they're doing it. It's money grab. But all right, shrink down the ugly mug. I gotta get out of here. My nose is just getting ready to explode everywhere. All right, let me shrink down the ugly mug one more time. Go to that wheel. Go to everyone's names. And thank you all for being Patreon members. I appreciate you all so much. Letting me do videos about like the switchback. This is $250. I might do a giveaway with the switchback, but it's really, it's one of those things. Every time I do a giveaway with a sluice, it goes to somebody that doesn't need a sluice. They're like, oh yeah, I already got 3 of them in my garage. And it's like, dang it, I'm just sending it to someone that's going to sit in their garage. So I'll have to figure it out. Maybe I'll do something where, I'll do like a raffle, like $1 a person raffle or something, so it's, if I get $40 or something, it just pays for shipping. It gets 40 people that want it. And I don't have to figure out something for the switchback because I don't plan on keeping it. I'm going to do a couple of reviews on it, a couple more videos on it, and then figure out something. But all right, these are all my Patreon members. We're just going to scroll through it. I'm not going to read everyone's name again. My nose can't take it. But everybody is in here. I made sure I double checked everyone's in here. If you're not in here, just email me later and I will look through it. And if you weren't on here, I will send you something. So it's actually better if you're not on here, I'll send you a gold back or something. So that's all the things. And here's all the prizes. I will tell you what all the prizes are. We have a 1/4 gram bag of GNS Paydirt. It's going to be a random one of his 1/4 gram bags of Paydirt. A 0.125, an 1/8 gram bag of Paydirt from Vendetta, 1/8 gram bag of Paydirt from Vendetta, from Brad's Bucket, a 1/10 of gram from Gold Baron, a 1 grain gold bar. We have a random Eisenhower 40% silver dollar, random silver quarter, 90%er, a random 40% silver Kennedy, a random 90% silver dime, a 1.5 gram silver car bar, some Paydirt, 0.144 gram Paydirt that was donated by those left behind, a mini keychain Paydirt from Lucky Lodi, ore sample, Kazakhstan copper nugget, gold backs from Allen. I have a random dollar certificates, silver certificates, these right here. A PC at Jess presidential dollar. It's one of these. This is this one. Thomas Jefferson. See, Thomas Jefferson PCGS. These are all things, these are all things that were like kind of in my kids' collection. I prefer NGC, so I kind of like trade this out and get an NGC for my kids. We have some gem jars. These are, might not be able to see them, but some sapphires that were cut by package total. I think there's 2 of these prizes, but only one of them is on here, and we'll do another one. A 3-carat cut garnet, a 1-carat cut purple sapphire. That one's really nice. I don't know if you're able to see it. I don't know if I have it. Where's it at? Yeah, you probably won't be able to see it because I'm all shrink down and tiny. But a beautiful little piece. 1-carat cut purple sapphire. That's probably the most expensive thing on the wheel. And then we have a couple copper rounds. It will be a copper round and a sticker pack because nobody wants a sticker pack, and I got too many stickers, so you're getting stickers anyway. So those are all the prizes, and we're going to pull some names. We're going to pull prize first for Joel Jeffrey because he won 2nd place on the $10, on the $25 tier. Before I pull that, let me catch up on chat, make sure. I like my switchback. I haven't had the issues other people have. And don't take them out in the sun, yeah. Well, the problem is, so gold putts, the problem with the switchback, that's what I thought too when I was shooting the video. I understood, like, you know, if you have 5 gallons, you don't want to be running everything through the little buddy sluice because, you know, you would say it's going to take 4 times as long because the switchback has essentially 4 times the area as the smaller sluice. But the problem is you have to classify your material. You don't have to classify it with the buddy sluice. You just don't have to. The matting is designed to allow any type of material to go through it. With the switchback, you have to classify it or it's going to get caught in those bars. Those bars are a horrible design. Anything over a 10 mesh, anything over 10 mesh is going to get caught in it. And probably stuff even smaller than that will get caught. So you have to spend 4 times as long cleaning out the stuff that gets stuck. And when it does get stuck, when it was piling up, what happens if it piles up, the sand starts going over it and you're going to blow all your gold out. So, I mean, it does work though. Like I said, it does work and it will catch gold. So it's not like a waste of money. If you buy one, it's worth it and you'll use the money on it. But it didn't solve any problems. Like it's not better than the other 2 sluices that they already made that were 3D printed. So. Yeah, that's why I still have it on the shelf, and it is going to stay up there. So every once in a while, I have to move it around just because I redo stuff. So I'm all about the gems. My switchback is a big old pan. Yeah. I don't classify, but does it get stuck? That's what I'm saying. You don't have to classify, but it's going to go trapped in here. I mean, there's just, unless you're using a different pump than the one that they're mailing out, my pump would not blow that material over. I mean, it would have to be the lightest material ever because I just ran essentially blondes and black sands. That's it. Just run it with the screen out of it. But yeah, that's not the purpose of it. So that's what I'm saying is they designed stuff that caused more problems. If it doesn't need the classifier, you're paying for it. They 3D printed this to have a classifier. So that's part of the cost. You know, anything they put on the switchback cost money and they're charging you for that cost. So, and I am going to run it without, that's what the new video is going to be. I am going to be running it without the classifier to see what it does. So, but all right, let's start spinning some wheels. Like I said, the next live show, we'll talk more about the switchback because I will have a new video out about the switchback. But all right, what we're going to do, we're going to pull names. This is when we're going to spin a wheel. We're going to shuffle it up. This is for Joel Jeffrey. Close these ads. Shuffle it up, see what he wins. And then we're going to pull 2 names from all the Patreon members and see what they win. What's he win? What's he win? He won the pre-season. I've never shown it off before, and of course he wins. So Joel will be getting the PCGS dollar. Usually I don't have the box of treasures around, but I figured why not pull them? And I'm not going to remove it because I do have more, and you know, so we'll leave that one on there. And we're going to shuffle it up. We're going to pull a name. So this is all the Patreon members. Shuffle everyone's name up and pull it. You don't have to be here to win this. This is just for my Patreon members. If you're here, make sure you go to the pinned chat on the top, and you can get a spin on the wheel too. There we go. David Desautel. So he won. We'll pull the second name. I think David's still here. We'll remove your name, David, so we can spin the wheel again, pick the second winner. I don't even think, see, David didn't guess. No, David did guess. Didn't win, though. And who is that? And John Miller. Oh, what a coincidence. Dylan Miller just picked John Miller to win. Yeah, very, very suspicious here. So John Miller, David Desautel, we'll pull your names. Let's see what prizes you won. We'll do David first. So David, good luck. Let's see what you won. Wow, David, it's good that you're getting a PCGS. Everyone's getting a PCGS dollar today. I'm not even going to remove it. Let's see if we can get it a time. We'll shuffle it again. Let's see if we can get it 3 times in a row. If it does, I'm going to have to change new wheels. Oh, he's getting Vendetta. So John Miller's getting some Vendetta Paydirt. So congratulations. Now we still do have to do, I'm going to make y'all look at my ugly mug. We'll remove that because I have to change the wheel up for the prizes for everyone in the live show. And I got to pull everyone's comments and things like that. So give me 1 second to reset everything up for everyone in chat. Make sure I got the comment. All right, here we go. Oh, what are we doing here? All right, let me go get the hidden link. There we go. Got that. Catch up on chat real quick. We'll do that. Remember, you got to pull your name. The wheel is out of balance. I know. Sean McClelland, yes. Yeah, I love, like, you know, I understand a lot of people collect stuff that's not graded and not slabbed. But one of my things is I really don't trust people. When you're buying stuff off of eBay or whatnot or whatever, you know, one, I don't usually buy auctions. I would rather buy the now. Like, I'll go on eBay and find a buy it now at a good price and make them an offer. And, you know, if they don't accept the offer, then I find somebody else make an offer. But I like the fact that I can zoom in, then I can go to like NGC or PCGS's website and scan it and check it and look for, because I don't buy MS70s. I always buy 69s or lower usually. Like this is a 65. So, because then they'll have a flaw. And because if you buy a 70, it's supposed to be flawless and there's nothing to really grade it. But if you buy a 69, like I just got a New Orleans Privy Mark Morgan, a 2021 Privy Mark Morgan for one of my kids. And, you know, it had a little dot on it. So I just looked in his, make sure it had that little dot, and then I know it's not a counterfeit. There's just so many bogus coins and silver and gold and copper out there now. It's crazy. Yeah, the gems are definitely, everything anyone sells me always goes into the wheel. Some of them, some prizes haven't made it into the wheel yet just because I have an abundance of prizes and I want to make sure I give some of the stuff away before I add more stuff. Because if I give everything out of the wheel quickly, like, you know, all the gems and stuff like that, if I put it all in there at once, then I've got to replace it. And, you know, only get, you know, people only donate so often, which I appreciate. Everyone that sent me anything for the wheel is just way too awesome. I've been redoing the wheel kind of and adding the people's names to it so I can, you know, give shout outs, you know, to them for doing it. So, yeah, that's why, you know, but, you know, I don't, when I win something, it's not to win. People will tell you, I tell people that all the time. Usually I don't enter any contests. You know, I'm Patreon members with, you know, Vendetta and all these places, and I tell them I don't want to win prizes. You know, I am more than blessed enough with my Patreon and my Patreon members that if I win something, somebody donates something to me, they go on the wheel, I give them away. You know, Gold Nugget Man, like, you know, a couple months back, Gold Nugget Man sent me a whole bunch of gold nuggets, you know, specimen gold. I think it was like a 3 gram, a 1 gram, and a 0.5 gram specimen gold, and they just sent it to me to thank me for my videos. And I, you know, I gave them away for my Patreon members. It's just, yeah, I'm scared to buy coins now. Yeah, that's why I only buy NGC or PCGS. It just depends on the coin. Some coins I like better in NGC slabs. Some I like better in the PCGS, or some I like in both, and I get both for my kids. But I like the fact that you can go on their websites, just look at them, to match everything and see they're good. But, Chinese, Temu is getting way too good at making fakes these days. So I saw one recently. What was it? It was something. It was like a Morgan. Maybe it was a Morgan or something that was the exact weight. It wasn't magnetic. I mean, it was just they could not tell until they cut it in half. So that was the only way they could tell. It's just crazy. Yeah. I mean, I just, like I said, I am more than blessed enough with my Patreon that lets me, do my hobby that I absolutely love. I get to pan out Paydirt and play with sluice equipment and do reviews on them and, just have a blast doing it. And, if I win something or somebody donates something, then, it's got to just go back to the community. So, and I appreciate you, donating those to that giveaway, to let me win it. So I will say, if I would have won, because on that thing, the Lord Shadow did have a painting. And if I would have won the Lord Shadow painting, I probably would have kept that. Every once in a while there'll be a prize where I'm like, ooh, that'd be tempting. So I'm not like, there are certain prizes I will keep. They're just, there's got to be something super, super like what I'm into. How's it going, Strat? Appreciate you popping in. Appreciate that. So, all right, we're going to do, if you have time, Strat, make sure you go to the pinned comment above and leave a comment there. We're getting ready to do the last spin wheel. So, but as always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. It's 100% just by me to give back to people in the community who come and join these live shows and put up with my ugly mug. So we're going to shrink down that said ugly mug one more time. Go to the best website on the internet, millerprospecting.com, where you can find everything you might need. Top 10 recommended Paydirt sellers, my last 100 reviews, just if you want to see what some of the sellers have been doing that aren't on there. Even let's see, Blue Tundra Gold's on there, number 311, 78.99% ROI. Worst 25 ROIs of all time. A couple of them there twice. That's the worst part about it, is some of those sellers are on there twice, which means they've got me twice. So, then sellers to avoid too. So make sure you go check out all those. Then as always, there's all my videos on here. You can see every one of my videos. Every one of my live shows is on here. And if you got unclaimed money, you can go here, go to the picture, just click there, find out if your state owes you some money. These are all government run and owned websites. So there's no third-party websites here. You click on any of them. You click on California. It will take you to the California website where you can search to see if they owe you any money. So you don't want the government holding your money because they're just making interest on it and you're not. So, but while you're doing that, make sure you go watch my last couple of videos, Lucky Strike Paydirt, the Clash videos, and the Switchback Sluice. But all right, let's go pick. We're going to go through the prizes. So these are prizes you can win tonight. We have a 0.15 gram bag of Paydirt from Anderson Coins, some Miller Prospecting gold-plated dimes, a 1 grain gold bar, 5 grams of silver shot, a 1 gram random silver bar, random 40% silver half dollar, random silver 90% silver, random 1.5 gram Franklin Mint car bar, Paydirt 0.144 grams, mini keychain Paydirt. Those are really cool. What's funny is I have 2 of them sitting next to my keys that I keep planning on putting on my keys and I forget. Ore sample, natural copper nugget, random gold back, silver certificate. I still have another one of these PCGS presidential dollars, so you can win that too. Mini gold chain skull keychain, mini Miller Prospecting keychain. Spin again because I ran out of prizes. I was looking this morning. I need to add 1 prize, so you just spin again. And then again, some copper rounds and sticker packs. Now these are probably going to be 1 ounce copper rounds. I don't think the 1/4 ounce ones popped in yet, so I'll send you a 1 ounce one with the sticker pack. But those are all the prizes. Let's pull a name for everyone that's here. Let's fetch. Glued replies. Oh, that's awesome, Dina. That is so awesome. Yeah, that's he was the one. Every time he does anything where he's got a prize up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna enter that one, even though I normally don't. So, but you know, you got to try and get those. So, all right, there we go. 58 comments. Let's pick a winner. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate everyone who hangs out with me on the live shows. I appreciate all my Patreon members, like I said. All of this just lets me do the hobby I love doing, which is panning Paydirt. So, let's pick a winner. Alaskan Assassin. Best luck to all of you awesome folks. Well, good luck to you. I just need you to post something in live chat. Then we're going to pull your prize. So, I see you. I saw Alaskan in here a whole bunch. So let's hope for he posts something. Yeah, two of Clash's paintings. I told Clash I would sell both of them for one big one. Yeah, he's not gonna take that. Were those his? Was that when he was doing his Bob Ross things? When he was doing his Bob Ross, I thought that was funny when Bob Ross got really big again. Like, what was that, like 2 years ago that he started doing Bob Ross videos and putting his picture paintings up. So Alaskan Assassin, we just need him to post. It might take him a minute. Chat is usually slower. I will say Clutch's paintings were pretty good. They're much better than anything I could do. I have a painting. I went to a painting class with Liz and we did paintings, and my painting does not look good at all. My trees do not look like trees. Yeah. I did bid on one of them. He had one up when he put them all up for auction. I did bid on one, so. Earth AAA, don't let the aliens abduct you. No. I know he was just here. He didn't say he was leaving. I didn't think, let me see, is he? Oh no, he's not showing up in chat. I hope he didn't leave. So he's got a few minutes. You know, he's a tightwad. Yeah, you know. I don't know about that. If you watch his channels, I don't know about that, Tony. No. I think he only made 5 was because they weren't selling what he thought they would. Because, like, you know, like, I know he's not a tightwad because if you look at him when he does in his other channel, his guitar channel, he probably easily spent close to $100,000 building out his garage into his studio and to make guitars, to be a Lutheran again. So he spent a huge chunk of change to do that. And he sold a few guitars. He probably still is selling some guitars, but he was selling his guitars for a big chunk of change as well. So, and the wood he was buying just to stock was not cheap and stuff like that. So he's not a tightwad, you know, when it's stuff that he enjoys. He's made a couple videos about him going on cruises and going out of the country and things like that. So no, he's not taggable. So no, you know, he's not a tightwad. He just spends money on things he enjoys. You know, I've said it before. I don't think Clash was really that big into, gold mining or gold Paydirt. He just, you know, when Clash started his channel, Clash was really, did other things. When his channel first started, he was doing like things about guitars, and it didn't take off. And then people got big into coin roll hunting, and that's what Clash started doing, was coin roll hunting. And he got big off of coin roll hunting. That's where he got his first, I think, 40,000 subscribers, was just doing coin roll hunting. And then he did Paydirt. He saw Paydirt was getting big on Patreon, on YouTube, so he started doing that. And then he did one of his videos, the bucket, like a $5,000 bucket, and that video got him 1 million views, and he got up to like 100,000 subscribers. So yeah, it's kind of like, you know, whatever's going to get him here is what he's going to do. So, well, it looks like Alaskan Assassin is not here, so there's no prize tonight, which really sucks. So, I mean, we'll pull another name. So if Alaskan Assassin pops in before the end of the show, we'll give him his prize too. So texted. Right. So, all right, we're going to pull, let me shrink down. We'll pull another name. And if Alaskan Assassin pops in before the end of the show, we'll give him a prize too. Well, let's pull one more, pick another winner, just as something. So John Feeler. If John Feeler's not here, then I give up. But if John Feeler posts, we'll pull a Wheel of Names prize for John Feeler. So is John here? John, please stand up to the center of the room. Oh, now he's here. See? I knew he was going to show up as soon as I did that. All right, so now we just... Yeah, so it's all right. We'll give them both prizes if John's here as well. So maybe John's not here now. No, all right. We're going to give it a second to get John. We'll pull both prizes. So you're both Patreon members, so, you know. So we'll put Alaskan Assassin. Yeah, it's Murphy's Law. I knew as soon as I went and pulled that, he was going to show up, so... That's a different John. You know you can't win here, John. You know that. So here, we'll give it a minute. I will give him a minute or two just so, you know, he has an equal chance to have his name show up, so. Ah, she found it. Okay, I can move it. Well, I couldn't move it the other day because, you know, what happens is I'll start shooting a video and I'm really, like, finicky about, won't move stuff. Like, I have some Paydirts I wanted to put on my shelf, but I didn't want to put them on there because I shot part of a video, and then it's like, okay, if I don't finish the video, I want everything to be the same. So I will move him, so I know to move him. You changed it. That's awesome, brother. Is John Feeler still taggable? Let's see. See here. No, he might have skedaddled as well. Let's see. Oh, why did I just close chat? I shouldn't have done that. Here we'll do. Yeah. Give me a second because I have to go to other screens to pop out chat. All right. Move chat. I don't know why I closed it. Life of a Gold Prospect, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Real Mr. Hogan, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. There we go. Think he split? Yeah, I'm thinking he split too, but we'll give him another minute. Alaskan Assassin waited till the last second. He was just waiting. He was like, he'll give out a second prize. I know. So we'll give it 1 minute. In 1 minute, we'll just go pull the prize. And if he shows up while I'm pulling the prize, we'll do it. So I talked to Clash the other day. He's fun. Yeah, I mean, I have no personal beef with Clash. You know, I don't like his Paydirt, and that's his Paydirt, you know. But, you know, like I've said, I love Vendetta Prospecting. I love both Mikes from Vendetta Prospecting and Gold Nugget Sales. And I've given both of them bad reviews. If I don't like their Paydirt, it has nothing personal. It's just their Paydirts. You know, it's the same thing where, you know, the owner of Prospector's Dream didn't like my Switchback review. I absolutely love the Dream Mat itself. I love Dream Mat. I like the Boss Buddy, and I like the Buddy Sluice. I thought they were both good, and they got a good review. It's just, you know, I do reviews, and I have, you know, very strict criteria I follow. You know, it's not a, you know, oh, let me get my friend and make him a good bag of Paydirt or something else like that. So, you know, Tomcat, how's it going? Dave's not here, man. So, all right, doesn't look like he's here. If he pops in, John Feeler, if you pop in before the end, we'll pull your name. But we only got like 2 or 3 minutes left, so let's shrink down the ugly mug. Go see what Alaskan Assassin won. Wait, that's not, what is that? Why is that on that? It's supposed to be here. Wheel prizes. There we go. All right. See, my meds aren't kicking in yet. All right. There we go. Wheel of prizes. Let's see what you want, Alaskan Assassin. We'll shuffle up the prizes. Hopefully something good. Maybe it'll be a PCGS dollar. Let's see. We've already won 2 tonight. It seems to be the new silver coin. Oh, it's going to be spin again? Or is it? No, it's 5 grams of silver shot. So you got the silver shot. I only have one of those, so I'm going to have to remove that. Alaskan Assassin. You got some silver. Congratulations on that. I'll be sending that out. Now, if you are a Patreon member, if you're a $79 tier member, I forgot to make your Paydirts. I have all the vials of gold sitting on my desk, and I totally been sick, totally forgot. So I'll be making those tomorrow or the next day. So everything will just ship out. What is tomorrow? Wednesday, Thursday. So everything will ship out Friday. Any prizes from today and any Patreon Paydirts from last month will go out Friday. I did set it up because I know people are complaining. I did set it up so now I can start putting in people's email addresses and send you emails that they send out. So. So you will get tracking numbers once it ships out. I'll try to get it out Thursday if I can. So we're going to see how I feel tomorrow, if I can get it done. I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and, they might put me in a mood. So, but thank you, everyone, for being here. And a bag of your own dirt. You said send it to you. There you go. So what did he win? Oh, the 5 grams of silver. Yeah. Yeah, so you got some extra silver for your collection. No, so the $5 tier, the $10 tier, and the $25 tier just get entries into the different contests every month. They're just to support the channel. Essentially, a certain amount of everyone's donation or their entry goes towards a prize pool. So for like the $5 tier, I only get like $4.30 or $4.40 actually out of the $5. And then like $1 of that goes towards the wheel that everyone gets into for the consolation prize. Then like $2.50 from every tier member will go towards whatever that prize of that month is. The $10 tier, the same thing. $25 tier, same thing. That's why the $25 tier has a bigger bag of Paydirt. It's just, they're putting essentially about $20 each towards a bag of Paydirt that they can win. And then for the $79 tier, it's the only one that gets a guaranteed any prize every month. And that's because they're spending $79, so they get a guaranteed $50 worth of gold in a bag of Paydirt. And the other $29 goes towards tier prize. I'm going to start collecting dirt soon just to give me something to do during the winter. Yeah. So, but yeah, so the different tiers are really just for the different prizes. That's about it. It's just supporting the channel, on how you want to support me, and I just give back, a certain percentage, so like, 50 cents of the $5 tier might go into my pocket, and $1 from the $10 tier and $2 from the $25 tier. And probably not even that much. Most of the money I make off of this is actually coming from what I make off of YouTube. So, which seems to get smaller and smaller. So, because they're going to have AI doing my job soon. But that's going to be it. Now, again, if you are a Patreon member, if you're a $79 tier member, or you won something tonight, those will be going out Thursday or Friday. And then there is the new gold guessing contest up. Make sure you go guess on that before the end of the month, because a few people didn't guess until late and ended it. So I do have a new video coming out Monday, a new Paydirt review. Thank Ed for this one coming out Monday. A brand new Paydirt seller just opened up. Brand new Paydirts. Got that review coming out Monday. I do have a new switchback video coming out. It might be Monday, it might be Friday or Saturday or something, just when I can get a time to shoot it, because I'm actually not testing it for gold catching. This is just going to be some other videos about the switchback. So AI, I wish AI would do like helpful things, but but I'm gonna be back, and then next Tuesday we're gonna be panning out the new seller's Paydirt too. So I got 2 bags. I got one to review on Monday, so that video will be out Monday, and I got another one for Tuesday we're going through. That's actually supposed to be even more loaded with more gold in it. So next Tuesday should be a good video, some good panning. Hopefully we'll see some good stuff. But I'm going to get out of here, go pick up my son, eat some dinner, things like that. But thank you all for being here. Thank you to all my Patreon members to support this channel and allow me to do this. And thank you all for hanging out and looking at my ugly mug for the last hour and a half. But I'm out of here, and good luck with everyone. Hopefully everyone finds some good gold. So